Hello, hello, Taurus. Welcome to your mid-September reading. I'm Madeline. Let's get right into it. So when I was tuning into your energy, Spirit was showing me the number 4 and a box. And what they were basically giving to me is that there are contexts in which a box is a wonderful thing, and there are times that you don't want to try to contain things quite so with quite so much constriction. Sometimes we need a little more air. We need a little more oxygen. Spirit is showing me like a kiln, for example, when you want to contain fire. If you contain fire in the proper way, it can create something. And then you could also put out a fire because there's not quite enough oxygen, and then you don't get any change at all. So take a look at where restriction or routine structure might be a little tight and maybe wants a little bit of loosening. And for some of you, of course, maybe if you have some Pisces placements, or maybe if you have a lot of mutability in you, maybe you do actually, you're the rare Taurus that may need a little more structure. You will know because you can go by what resonates with you. Listening to your own intuition is the most important thing after all. So with that in mind, let's get into some cards. See where you are, how you're showing up, what's showing up around you, and what Spirit wants to make you aware of about it for your highest good. Spirit, we always want to help Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising, and Taurus Dominant people attain the abundance, the joy, the fun. These cards are jumping. They're like, blah, like verbal diarrhea, but with cards. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, want to help Taurus to gain their highest good. Spirit, fun, joy, abundance, pleasure, ease, peace, fulfillment. So Spirit, to do that, we always want to know the truth of where they stand in this moment. What you want to share with them for their highest good. Spirit, where is Taurus standing? What is showing up? And what would you like them to recognize about it for their highest good? Is there a place where you want them to pivot in the mid-month, or something you want them to lean into even more for their highest good? Spirit, please share with us what you see for Taurus people. Themes, energies, stories showing up for Taurus people in mid-September. Mid-September. Just flicked right out. Alrighty, let's go. Where they stand and where they're headed. Spirit, in the mid-month. Wow. Do you have any Aries, Taurus with Aries placements in the house? Wow, I say that and then another card that popped up for Aries pops up. Just curious. Wow. Okay. Change is not always easy. But death and rebirth are closely linked, right, Taurus? Change as a fixed sign, not necessarily your favorite thing. Speaking of fixed signs, you come through as the King of Wands. Pretty fun that Spirit was making reference to a kiln, right? Just enough structure and enough fire, right? Enough creative spirit, enough Spirit is like giving me adventurous. They're giving me pioneering. They're giving me willing to follow your own flame, your own torch, versus going off of the rubrics or the opinions of other people. Okay, so that shows up very powerfully for you, and that can be isolating. Three of Swords, current situation, Three of Swords. I'm feeling a couple things, Taurus. I'm an intuitive reader if you haven't been here before. For some of you, there is like a literal separation. For some of you, there's just currently like a misunderstanding. And so it feels like for some of you, this is very temporary. But others of you, it is like, oh, this is a sign of things to come. I'm feeling disappointment, and that can inspire you to do better at something else that you care about. That's just what I'm hearing. So for example, if this partner, family member, whatever, is not seeing me or appreciating me or recognizing me, maybe a way that I take care of myself is pouring myself into my work or something else like that. King of Wands things, other forms of success, personal expression, doing my own thing. So that's, again, very entrepreneurial, pioneering, etc., that Spirit was saying. Three of Swords, again, not everybody's going to get it. That's the explanation, like that's the interpretation that Spirit is giving me. For some of you is not everybody's going to get it, and focusing on who's not going to get it or who isn't getting it is not necessarily the right place to be putting your attention. Because what you are creating or what you're doing right now or the path that you are on, like the way that you are developing, looks very promising. The world sits in this, the position that is the situation arising, the situation that is currently developing. So Three of Swords, I want to ask you, Taurus, how you might be hurting your own feelings. That's what I'm hearing. What kinds of stories are you telling yourself? That's what I'm hearing. Like, oh, this again, it's because I'm blank. You know, that won't be true for every Taurus, but for those of you with whom that resonates, like, oh my gosh, I'm in a relationship with a different person, but I ended up in the same dynamic. And maybe you're telling yourself a story about how it's always like this, or they're always like this, or I'm always like, or whatever. I want you to question your stories, because this is a really good opportunity to actually get a higher perspective, the world, and be like, okay, sometimes separation is good, for example. Sometimes it sucks to step away from something or someone that doesn't feel like us anymore or isn't giving us our due. But also, again, the rebirth and the liberation is implied. And I'm once again struck, because I'm always struck by how Spirit talks about death and rebirth being attached, and we actually have the death card over here in the long-term future. Transformation. The world and death actually have a lot in common. Because, you know, have you ever had a psychedelic experience, Taurus? And there's a bit of an ego death involved, and that is very expanding to your perspective. Like, oh, I thought I was going to die, but actually it's just this way of seeing things. So there might be a way of seeing things that is ready to die, or you are at the very least ready to put to death and want to be done with it. And for some of you, again, you're seeing it mirrored in the external, but I would ask you to always look for where do I feel that mirrored inside of myself? Because if I start with me, then I don't necessarily have to go overhaul all of my relationships. Like if I let people, for example, repeatedly take advantage of me or overstep my boundaries, there's conversations and remediation I can do with myself that will mean the next time I have a conversation with that person, it just actually comes out of my mouth and is comfortable to say like, no, actually, I'm not going to be able to do that for you. I don't have to have a big conversation with them. I can just start behaving differently and they can be stunned, and that's fine. Let them be stunned. The heart of the matter, Nine of Wands, don't give up. Don't give up. If you're thinking Three of Swords, if you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling afraid that it's not going to work out ever or whatever that this is, and I don't want to bypass it because Three of Swords sucks. Feeling left out or feeling cut out or feeling alone or set adrift sucks. Spirit is like, you might be set adrift, but your boat is headed to new shores. Okay? Nine of Wands, you're almost there. So batten down the hatches, keep the sails up. You're almost to where you need to be, so be vigilant, don't give up. The Hanged One, the Hanged Man, hanging from his ankle, not his neck. He is totally fine, but he has a little bit of, okay, you know, again, like you're on the boat. There's no need to paddle now. What for? You're on the boat, it's almost at the shore. Go ahead and let go. I'm in a little bit of limbo. I'm transforming right now. Can I be comfortable with the fact that action and leaps forward aren't going to come for a little bit, because right now I'm in a state of transformation. I'm in a state of transformation. I may not immediately see it in the external world. That's okay. Death, long-term future. I am stepping through a door. I am leaving something behind. Some of you, Three of Swords, may be leaving a person behind. This could also just be a stage of life and a way of being that you are ready to leave behind. I don't think I need to remind Taurus too often to stick with their dreams and what they're doing, because they know that they're good at what they're doing and their plan is to stick with it. You can trim parts of it that aren't working out, and you can trim out people that make you question whether or not you're worthy or whether you can do it. And Spirit is saying this very loudly. It's always okay to change. It's always okay to change your mind. It's always okay to change your mind. Even if you are like, wow, I'm real close, 9 of Wands, and I know for sure I don't want to do this shit anymore, it's okay to let that go. That wouldn't be the thing that Spirit would be telling you. Don't give up on this. If you're like, I have no joy in this, I hate this actually, I'm over it. That's something you could let go. But it's basically like, don't give up hope just because other people don't see it or understand it. Yet. I want to pull one more for you. Because ending on death, no, natural. But it is also natural to want to know what's on the other side of closing that door, Spirit. Can we get just a little bit more information for Taurus? Wow, fell right out. Gorgeous. What more do you need to know? A new beginning, refreshment, cleansing. That's a word that Spirit is using. So a beautiful card to see, very healing and calming, a balm to that 3 of Swords. Loving yourself, following your own path, trusting your process, not cursing it, not hurrying it, not questioning it. Okay. I hope that was helpful, Taurus. It's always a good time with you. Thank you for being here. Hope it was helpful. And if I don't see you before then I hope I will see you in your October reading. Bye, Taurus.